Huh?
Previous one 50, now 40. This part. Three, three, two, one, take.
Welcome back. We are joined by Tulsidas Fatte, Secretary of the Association of Taxi Owners of Goa. Warm welcome to you, and thank you for joining this discussion. In fact, we had begun by laying out different issues and concerns of tourism, of the taxi owners, the yellow and black, and so on and so forth. We would see the issue is, as we started this discussion, we are actually very happy that we are having a conversation and not a confrontation, because it's very important to understand both sides.
Yes, sir.
The point that we made at the beginning of this discussion is that there is this feeling amongst tourists and others that the taxi owners, especially your group or your owners, which is a very big ecosystem, you all are supposed to be ambassadors of tourism. There is a feeling that there's a feeling amongst people. It is not a charge; it is a feeling which needs to be addressed. Yes. That you all are obstructing good tourism because of you. The rates that tourists are paying is far more. Also, the issue is because of your presence in outside hotels and other places where you should be. Nobody can stop you from doing business. You have a right to do business. But what is also happening is that you all are marking your territories in such a way that others cannot enter and do it. These are all different issues that are coming in. The other thing that people say is that all along this period, when there has been effort to regulate and put digital meters and others, it's not that you all have objected to it, but what has happened is even after the court order, there has been some kind of a reluctance to implement it in a big way. Again, that is a feeling. Also, we see that when any effort has been made to have app-based taxis, you all have resisted very strongly. You may have very good reasons for it also, but the fact is that you all have objected to it. Today, in fact, we had there was a press conference where I think somebody from your association and others said that why should we have an app-based taxi? Because after 4 trips, we need to rest. If app-based taxis come, we'll be completely under the control of app-based taxi and we cannot do anything. So all this. My larger question to you is, see, much as we understand the problems, we also need to, not everybody needs to understand you all also and understand why you are saying it, which is why we are having this debate. If you can just respond to a few of these things, particularly 2 things. One is on digital meters and secondly on apps. Why are you all resisting it so much?
The way you said, I am really happy because both the sides should be listened to the public. Absolutely. Also.
Correct.
And the such types of the conversation should made earlier. But
right.
Always what happened,
right.
the Goa having a TTAG, he always blame taxi people. Many times even I met to the CM also. That time I said, you listen to our side also, and then you listen to TTAG.
Right.
Because TTAG is those who are having a travel agents. They don't have their own vehicles. They take the vehicles from us only. And when the customer says, huge, you are charging so much, then they figure out taxi people are charging more. This is the one part. Second part, you said, the taxi people means tourist motor vehicles are charging more from the tourists. But as per my knowledge, I am saying that we are not charging. As per the notification of government, what they had given rates, we are charging. Now, the TTAG had been filed a petition because of meter in 2005.
Yes,
that time they had not registered also. That time that TTAG is not there. That time it was a hoteler club. They had taken this is the shortcut from the hoteler club to TTAG name. And he has made Michael, then Nikhil Desai, they had made this cook story to finish all the tourist taxi. Then we got, and this is all information through RTI.
Yeah, just one, I'll interrupt you. I mean, just not interrupt, just to, one more point I wanted to ask. So, as far as digital meters is concerned, see, the digital meters is basically to have a meter so that there is a fixed rate. When the meter works, people will know how much they have to charge. It becomes transparent.
Yes.
So, why are you all against the meters?
Yeah, I'll tell you. the tourist motor vehicle, all India tourist permit doesn't have a meters. Already we have a meter practice in yellow black. Also we have in all Goa tourist motor vehicle. So now what they are saying, TTG are specially as forcing to the government through by High Court that you place the meters to the every motor vehicle.
That's a High Court order.
No,
High Court listen to both sides and give
yeah,
it
so
right?
that's why we file a petition. High Court is not bringing for the discussion. When Motor Vehicle Act is there, rule is there, then why they are forcing?
Okay.
In between, so in between, Rule 1990 they had brought. On that behalf, they are forcing us to do this and that. Then cab aggregators, they said they need a cab aggregator. We are not a metropolitan city over here. We have a very hardly 15 lakhs people. In that 15 lakhs, 60,000 people are coming out in the Goa city to work in every corner of the Goa. And these people, some people are there, they are forcing them to place their meter, this, that, to finish us.
Shouldn't we take into account that you're talking for 15 lakh population?
Yes.
Shouldn't we take into account that the floating population, the tourist population is also
Yeah, that
15
is
lakh
also, I'll
plus?
tell you. So,
one second. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, one
sure,
second,
sure,
I'll tell you.
Sure.
Day by day, means day and second day, like 4,000 or 5,000 they come in and go.
Okay.
But in that 4,000 and 5,000, it is not generated at one places. You can see the railway station, you can see the airport, you can see the bus stand. And they are not, means suppose we consider a Panjim city. It's around like 3 kilometer, 4 kilometer around. These people are going in a village. Like Arambol.
These people meaning who?
The tourists, those who are
okay.
commuters
Yes.
coming
Yes.
from the
Yes.
out,
Yes.
they're going the far away
Yes.
from one place to
Sure.
about 70 kilometer,
Sure.
80 kilometer.
Sure, sure.
And what they brought this concept of a meter, it's not possible. If
Okay.
you go to Kankona and if you didn't get from there to return, how it's possible?
Okay, so we are here to listen. What we are essentially saying is that if you have a digital meter, how is it going to affect you all?
Yeah, I'll tell you. The digital meter, when you say the metrology having a statistic that you cannot change in interstate, like Bombay, Goa, the meter digitalized should not change. Because see, if you go in Mumbai, you will get for one digit, suppose 5 or 10 rupees. But here, the metrology they had said like 26, 46.
But, okay, I take your point. Just tell us how different is Goa from the rest of the country. My issue is there are so many states,
Yeah.
26, 27 states. Many of them are tourist states. Like Kerala is a tourist state. Jammu and
Yes.
Kashmir could be a tourist state. There are so many other tourist states. The thing is that if all the states are following a system, I'm not even looking at digital.
Yeah.
If all the states in this country, wherever a tourist lands, he has a choice of either booking a Ola Uber or taking any taxi. We can take a Meru cab or take any other cab, or get into a yellow and black cab, or get into a taxi.
Right.
But wherever he goes, he knows that there is a meter. The meter tells him that how much he has to pay. I'm only trying to understand.
Yeah.
But I'm not charging. I'm trying to understand that how is Goa so different from any other place in the country?
See, now the way you have differences like means Ola cab, yellow black, white, tourist white. Here what happens, the all hotels are in the village area.
Okay.
See, the tourists are coming, they are hitting to the village side.
Okay.
We have a yellow black taxis at like railway station.
Point to point.
Point to point.
Right.
In even in Panjim also you can see.
Right.
But at the time of commuters, those tourists are coming, they are staying in the hotels.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But when that hotel set up in that particular village,
Yes.
the around people are depend on that only.
Okay.
So the people are not saying that we will bring the taxi from Panjim or somewhere. From there, the unemployed youth, those who are educated after education, they don't have a job because we don't have a major industry hub in the Goa.
Right.
So this is the one of, okay, we'll start with a taxi.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that okay, let us accept your point that your local boys need business. Let's
Yeah.
accept that. Okay. The point is, but if the same local
Yeah.
person has a
Choice
has a-
of- choice
no,
of.
I'm not even going to choice. I'm going by your thing only. For the time being, I'm saying, forget the choice part. Let's forget choice.
Yeah.
Right now, your person in say Varka or Kavelosi, outside the hotel, he has his taxi. Don't you think that if he has a regular meter, the tourist will be more comfortable in hiring him because he knows, Baba, if I'm going from Kavelosi to say Margao or to Panjim and other places, and if I'm paying a fixed rate, I'll be more comfortable because I know exactly what I'm doing. Because on one day I shouldn't have to pay 5,000, on some other day I shouldn't have to pay 3,000, or on some other day I need to pay 1,000. If there is a regular thing, he knows exactly what the payment is, rather than he depending on what the taxi driver feels like charging on that particular day. This is the feedback we've got from tourists.
Yeah, okay, sir. Listen, now if you say the Varka and all, there's mostly all 5-star hotels.
Right.
They having their own counters.
Right.
Okay, they book by their counters like travel tax something, and from there they give them a taxi, like a motor vehicle from outside. Those the village people are standing, means they are sitting there and like that.
Right.
So now those taximans doesn't know how much the travel tax had charged. First of all,
here the travel tax is
the
not
meter.
involved.
Now you said the
Let
meter.
us say travel desk is not involved at all.
But in
Now,
most
okay.
5-star hotel, travel desk are involved.
They
charge.
They charge from there,
Afterwards
and then
will pay this
they
guy.
call from the PA system, and then they.
We'll get the feedback from our
Yeah, yeah.
tourism people who deal with hotels. No,
Yes,
my
okay.
thing, suppose, okay, we are again getting into a hypothesis where we make it comfortable for you.
Yeah, okay.
We say, suppose the travel desk says, look, if you want to book a taxi, this is the number of the taxi stand. We'll give an intercom, you book them and fix that. It's not fixed, you hire it, and there's going to be a meter, you pay by meter.
Yeah.
Suppose they do that, then are you agreeable?
Yes, the one commuter I had met him, means like I crossed him.
Yes.
That time he said, I don't want meter, because he was asked for the Innova. He asked me the question of the per meter how much? 46 rupees. Then he is calculated how many kilometer will come when I come back to the hotel. That taxi man, means like tourist vehicle driver, said about 140, 135. Then he got it. He calculated so much. I don't want meter. You tell me in lump sum. So they having that a fix sub ratio up
Okay,
down.
some tourists might do, but that cannot be the basis for not accepting meters at all. I mean, that's the choice.
Now, yeah, that's the choice. One more thing.
Yeah.
Now, once the meter will start, this is technically the very serious issue now. Suppose one passenger has came and said, no, this meters digitalizes all, everything is wrong. I want to file a petition because I know experience about this. This is all cook story of Nikhil, Ambasta, many of them, because they want to finish this one. So still this is going on. Because no sir, listen, because why I'm saying aggressively when I'll talk this one, because they had not resolved these issues, because we have been party of that.
Okay.
The particular
I take
case.
your. I take your.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What are the difference between tourist taxis operation and a yellow black taxi operation?
Yeah.
They are organized. They are totally, they go with the flow of the government rule.
Yes.
What deprives y'all of
Yeah.
privilege
What
like
happened, at the time of Manohar Parrikar, when these tourist motor vehicles permits are issued, because actually it was in 1984, the mostly of them private and little like 2, 3 is just operating like.
Yes.
So what he has, his vision and thoughts that more volume of this white tourist taxi, so where they will keep? On the road or stand, because already yellow black having a stand.
Yes.
Right.
They have a notified stand with a particular TCP, everywhere the all marking should be there. It should be there. And and what about the white taxi? So what he has done in the permit, he has written there, the all tourist taxi motor vehicle should keep at home and do the business.
Yes.
Now one
your
side you
garage.
tell me, one side you tell me, if I keep my at home, how I'll operate?
On
I
call.
need an everywhere, somewhere I need an stand, or somewhere I need an office. Now you tell me, we are the stakeholders.
Yeah.
Now they had issued a permit like stakeholders. How I'll do the business? Many of them are poor employed people. They doesn't have a parking place. They place somewhere 2-3 kilometers outside, and they walk at the home inside. How is possible?
If I may be
So
corrected.
this is specially made by Parrikar.
No, in
Now
South
you
Goa.
can
in
you
South
can
Goa,
see
yeah.
the other states of permits. There is no, this is not a clause over there.
If I may be corrected, in
Yeah.
South Goa, the union, all the associations of South Goa, a few like from Varka and Kavalos and all, came out with an idea to have a stand in either Varka or in Kavalosin. All the cars would be parked there. Hotels would call them
Yeah.
and they would dispatch cars.
Dispatch the car.
What happened?
Yes, Now see the Benaulim, there is a jury is there. In front of jury there is encounter.
No, you all are outside the hotel gate.
Yeah, outside the hotel.
See, you all are standing outside the hotel gate on your own free will. Correct? It's not a stand.
It's not a stand means like what happens, sir. See, now they approach always to the panchayat and all.
Exactly.
When the hotel is coming up, that time they promise to all everyone.
business
the
to the
So it is
villagers.
understood that has become a stand, but it's
is not legally a
formally
stand.
It
It's
is
not
not
But-
legally
but-
stand.
But to my knowledge, there is one tourist taxi stand at Margaon, opposite
Right.
Go GTDC.
Yes.
If I can ask,
Yeah, sure,
I
sure.
think
sure.
Also in the airport,
Yeah.
there were 1984. They had placed 10 vehicles for the tourists, and Vasco, were opposite to the railway station.
The other side.
Yeah, there is a kiosks. 2 kiosks are there. Before it was some MMTC. There also they had placed that marked a 10 vehicle.
Okay, I'll just ask one more question, then I'll leave it
Yeah, yeah.
open to the house because
Yeah.
there's a conversation
Yes.
also. So each of you all can interact,
Yes,
ask
yeah,
questions.
yeah, yeah.
It's more important that you all do it this way, based on what he's said. See, Pratibha, everything that you're saying, we are respectfully taking on board. We are understanding what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay. What we are unable to kind of understand or appreciate is there's so many issues of violence and muscle flexing that has happened, in the sense that we hear of stories of tourists being pulled out of their cars or buses, people getting beaten up. Recently, the issue that happened at Murmugaon was also very, very, very unfortunate, where so many tourists were about to go for excursions and they could not. And the driver of the coach was allegedly beaten up. Goa got ultimately a bad name.
Yes.
So don't you agree, or even if you disagree, tell us why you disagree? Is that what is happening is that these incidents, forget yellow black or your taxis or tourism or anybody else you mentioned, the point is ultimately these actions give Goa an
Goa is
extremely
a bad name. Yeah.
and
I-
ultimately if tourism is a golden goose, then it is being killed.
Yes.
So my point is, now these violent acts have happened mainly from people who are running these kind
Business.
of running tourist taxis. So how do you account for this? And that itself is causing a lot of fear in people.
Yes, see, unfortunately, it was happened there. Even for my side, even I will say that it's apologized. The thing is there, the issue was that create how. That has to be understood the whole entire first, and then it should be a criticized or something like that. As per my knowledge, I am from there also. The early morning, the first 2 ships are came. That time my vehicle had been, I got a trip, so I went. And when I came back, I heard by 2-3 men. Then I was interact with a traffic manager of MPA also, and also their staff. They asking, "Oh, this is." I said, "What happened?" No, it was beaten by so and so. I said, "It's not beaten. Might be they had conservation."
Yeah, because La
And it's
Passage had
why it's
actually
happened.
pre-intimate. They have given a letter to the PI saying like on the 10th, saying that on the 14th these ships are going to come. There are 80 people who will.
That third ship was not scheduled. In a midnight, it was scheduled. If it was a schedule, then why they had not allowed their 4 buses inside?
But I have a letter. Inverted,
Sir, see,
inverted-
letter can be. See, it's a letter can be. You can. I can also give a last 5-day letter today.
Okay, you can. So what you're essentially saying, that is why you wanted
Yeah.
your point of view. Your point of view is that the letter was, you are alleging that the letter was manufactured and inverted after the incident happened. That's what you're saying, right?
I'm not saying like that, but you can push it inside. But if it was 4 days back or 2 days back, why they are not allowed these buses inside?
Okay.
Before
Why-
that, it was going inside. All the coaches were going inside.
Morning
for
when
that
I
trip-
got a trip, that time 26 and 13 something 40 buses are there inside.
Okay.
So they were not allowed to enter in the bus.
See, okay, we'll get others to respond.
Till you
because
not
there are
get
other
a
stakeholders.
MPA, all the details, they will not allow you pass.
Okay.
Even that pass is cost about 500
What
rupees
I'll
or
essentially do is that there are
580.
stakeholders, important
Yeah.
stakeholders. I'll
He
be
knows
waiting
better, he
patiently.
knows better.
Okay. So my issue is if you can respond to what Pratibha said and look into all these aspects, including Section 88 of the MV
Yeah,
Act
yeah,
on the
yes.
issue of obstruction and others. Let's feel free to have a discussion on questions.
This basically is a discussion only.
Yes, yes.
See,
You
we,
know,
We want things to come to. We want a
Yes.
solution.
Solution.
And we want,
See,
we want to
everywhere,
flourish.
sir, sir,
We also want to
sir,
want that only.
we also
We
want
all have to come
everywhere
together and
solution.
settle
Right.
it.
Now
Yeah.
see, listen, sir.
Despite
Now
the
I am
burning
fighting.
too much.
But
now
that
I'm
is not
fight-
happening.
Yes, now I am fighting from last 5 years.
Yes.
The one petition was in High Court.
Yes.
Even that petitions again I have to file. Why, you know, sir? Already I have a 2 judgment of double bench. Still they are saying you are not allowed to make the trip from the airport. Now that day they had made a notifications that for the Mopa airport you start the registration of. When you are obstructing me, AG is filing a affidavit. You are not allowed to.
Further, I'll
make
come to the
trip.
MOPA after this round. I'll
Yeah.
specifically
Yeah.
discuss MOPA when we'll get opportunity to discuss, because I really need to discuss MOPA in depth, which we'll get. But quick
Yes,
response.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is just for discussion
Yeah.
purposes.
At any point of time you want to get into move
Yes.
into Konkani of your free time,
Fantastic,
because
fantastic.
you know let's be comfortable. Yeah.
See, basically, like what you said, when this tourist taxi act was put into place, it was basically to bring about the unemployment, cut it down, and give it to the local people.
Yes,
right?
yes, definitely. You're right.
But if you look at the practical scenario today, most of the people who are employed are basically people who have come and settled here only to drive these taxis, because each person is having about 10, 15, 20 taxis, right? So that whole issue about elevating unemployment or reducing unemployment has somewhere fizzled out. That is
Yes,
number one.
yeah.
Number two, what I wanted to ask you was that, like you have rightly pointed out, one of the permit conditions which is there is that you have to park in your homes, right? And it is impractical. You know it, we know it, everybody. knows it,
Everybody.
right? Fine. Now, there was a solution that when you know that you have to stay in your home, okay, and there is a possibility of getting all the people together at one place and giving the contact with different hotels, travel agents. Whenever you want, give them, and you have your own group, like, they have a. Now, has this type of a proposal ever been put to the government that please give us permission? We will be here instead of at home. And then, see, you are charging them from point wherever you are starting. Let them pay for it, whoever is taking your thing. That is number one. And the third part and the most important part, which I felt very hurt when I heard about this MPT, because for me, I like to promote the heritage of Goa. And the most important part of heritage of Goa is that we have always been known as very warm people, welcoming everybody. But when something like, the incident of the Basichi Vare Solde, which by itself, leaving the air of this, I don't know whether how many people know, leaving the air of any vehicle is a criminal offense. Okay? So, making them get down, then making these 60, 70, 80-year-old people walk in the hot sun and then going back. This type of incidents does, see, technically there may have been correctness or fairness or whatever between the taxi drivers, travel agent, whoever it may. But the message that has gone has really, brought the name of Goa down. So, how do you feel?
You're free to
See,
respond.
yeah.
How do
Now,
you feel?
now you say like that. When these travel agents go in the ship, what they converse and they brief to the all the tourists. I have a video also there. Okay, they say that you don't get a taxi at out, all taxi mafia. Okay, you have to take the taxi, everything from us. Means like who was making the all organized travel transport like that. Now you tell me this is happened that day. 5 or 6 foreign ship came. Nobody sit in the one taxi. Now I listen by taking a press. We organize everything. You tell me now from Panjim you are taking a vehicle to there. How is possible? How they can affordable that? You cannot take from there.
But Fateh, just a quick response to what you just said.
Yeah.
See, if a cruise tourist coming from America
Yeah.
is coming into Goa, he does not know Goa. If he has a choice between an organized tour where he's taken on a bus with others, made to show places and others, won't he be more comfortable in an organized setup? And most importantly,
With the guide.
with a guide, he ultimately will have as a tourist, as a paying tourist, shouldn't he have the right to decide which mode of transport he has to go to, depending on his needs? There may be a lot of tourists. You are right. Nobody can say to use the word taxi mafia and all that.
No, I have all
But the
recording.
point-
I have
but
all
the point
recording.
here is-
That is
but the point
absolutely
that is
wrong.
wrong.
I
But
agree.
what I'm saying is, if a particular tourist says, "Look, I'm tired of my people I'm traveling with. I just want my own me time and free time. I'd like a cab and go somewhere else, chill by the beach," or I mean, he's very much within his rights. He can hire a taxi and go. But you cannot deny the choice of somebody who wants to go on a conducted tour and do a sightseeing. I'm sure, and Olan can respond to this also. When you book charters or when you book cruises,
lines, yeah.
the option is obviously there for people either to take a taxi or you
Yeah,
take a
in that, I want to say that
Yes.
when the briefing of that travel agent, why they are briefing against us?
We are
Okay.
not.
See,
Wow.
why they are against us? Because
Okay.
I have recording here also.
No.
Even I can show here.
No,
See,
so-
all the
okay.
times. See,
Are you
now
saying-
that day also. See, listen, sir.
Sure,
even
sure,
you
sure,
should
sure,
listen
sure,
me
sure,
also.
sure,
That day
sure.
that happened.
Yes,
While that tourists are walking from inside to the where the buses
Buses
were
parked.
parked.
Hmm.
While walking, that taxi in between taxi was there. One Indian lady was she was talking Hindi. She asked there, "Oh, taxi, how much you take to go to Panjim, Olga?" He said $50. Big car, you can say $70. If you in dollar, if you want to know the in Indian money, 3,500.
But shouldn't that be fixed? Shouldn't that rate be fixed?
Yeah, that is their fixed 3,500 or like that. So that time they are both of tourists like Kanu said, "Arey, we paid $130 for one seat in a bus. We are getting taxi here for $50. Now see how this is happening.
Okay.
See his
Point.
choice. He wants buy
Okay.
a car or means like
Point. Good
taxi.
point. Olan, Lyndon, both of you please respond.
If
to
I
this.
may say,
Yeah, both of
I've
you
been
respond.
handling cruises since 2000.
Yes.
All right. Many a times at the port when we come there, the union we meet, we tell them give us a printed rate that we can send to the agents. See, a lot of people do not know how far the taxi gate is because port is a sensitive area. At every day destinations, you go to Cochin and all, they're all outside. They're not close. So they don't know how far they have to walk. They're aged. So based on that, if we have the rates to send them, they would know what to choose. Till date, from 2000, if I may say, I've never got any rates from the union.
So you have a good experience. I have a with all pictures.
you can.
Last year, before COVID, last year there was a counter. Okay,
By
I have
GTDC.
all paper records, everything.
By GTDC.
And yeah, not GTDC.
Tourism.
GTDC, not GTDC. Government had given to the Vishan Naik,
Okay.
and he has
Who
well
is he?
organized.
See,
He has
again,
made an
again
His
our
email.
viewers will not know who he is, so if you can just explain.
yeah. Vishan Naik also got an counter over there in MPT. That time,
But why are we bringing this private individual into the
see,
picture?
then politics involved in this.
No, see, again, I have to see what our viewers understand or not understand. No?
Yeah.
So, when you are saying Vishal Naik, if you can just kindly explain who he is and
He is
what's
also
what's the relevance?
yeah. He's also a normal a person who's also he's also a taxi man. He's also businessman
Right,
from
okay.
long back.
Right.
He got a counter over there.
Right,
Okay,
Right.
officially everything.
right,
Last 5 years back.
right.
The in between something political scenario has cooked.
Okay.
It was removed. He knows.
Right.
The counter was just wharf of the ship where the berth,
But
Okay.
opposite of the gangway.
Which now the government tourism is
And
going to
everything
implement.
rate had been placed to everyone.
Right, right.
And after 1 year, the second year, everything had messed,
Okay.
gone out. Then all TTG says, no, they all mafia. This,
No, it's not-
this is
See,
not the
it-
correct
it-
one.
it-
See, listen.
Yeah, yeah.
Your question
See,
after
see.
that, we've got 10 minutes. Those 10 minutes we'll devote to MOPA.
Yeah, okay.
We can
no
do
problem.
Yes, very
this
important.
is very important.
Very
But your
important.
last,
Yeah.
I mean, but if you can quickly want to have some questions based on what he said, then 10 minutes we'll devote.
See, I
completely
have
to
been a
MOPA.
passenger on many cruise ships myself,
Yes.
and I'll be very unbiased over here. The tour operators do their best to sell their tours and fill their coaches. No one runs taxis down, but you always try and show how it is better to book a group tour. I don't think they run taxis down, but this has to be brought together in a discussion.
And this point should
Yes,
also be
this is
taken into
the
account.
way the way he has said. I also appreciate, but the thing is that
We all have to
when
sit together and resolve
yeah,
this.
Resolve that.
yeah, the one thing is
Government should
that
also
when the
interfere.
ship
Has
is
to
coming
big
to
time.
the port, The port area having also 2-3 lakhs, so means 1-3
Right.
lakhs people are around there.
Right.
Unemployed youth also there. They had taken a taxi. They also will hope that I'll get I'll get a business. Why these tours and travels agents? Why they are not organized that some of taxi will also have this business from this?
Okay, point taken. We can respond during the course of this. Since the time is a constraint, I'll have to introduce and discuss one very important subject at hand. Now, see the Mopa airport. Okay, and I'll not go one by one. I'll just put the proposition in, and we request all of you all to intervene and make your points. One by one, any point of time. And I'll step back. I only want to hear. See, what happens is when we have a situation where the Mopa airport will be fully functional from the 5th when planes take off and land. We have a situation where there is no guarantee of any organized transportation system from Mopa on that particular day. There are no black and white taxis guaranteed. There are no tourist taxis guaranteed. There is no app base guaranteed, because even if you have an app, who's going to be part of the app?
And no coaches also.
And there are no coaches. If I download an app and I put an app, there will be no cars coming, because no tourist taxi person has agreed to be a part of the app. They have flatly refused.
So you said is very correct. I'll tell you. When you bring a big project like, before bring this project, there is a manual.
Right.
There is a consultancy.
Right.
They have to put in that manual. So now this airport is handling with suppose 10 million people.
Right.
So this transport has to be required. What the machinery of Goa Transport Department is doing? When you know this is the big project coming over here.
Right.
You know this airport, already we have an existing airport. We have a allocate services over there. Then why they had not functioning that all RTA and all? Only they are just taking money. They should function with these all things. The manual is rightly will say that when this project is coming over there, these facility should be implemented, and before that they have to make it there.
So
they have to bring that on.
Are you saying that with 10 days to go before the first flight lands,
nothing will
there
go
has been no discussion between either the tourism department or the transport department with your association, and you're the secretary of the All Goa
Yeah,
Association?
nothing. This
That's
is
all.
nothing.
I
See,
overheard that they are going to have buses.
Right.
But which passengers want to sit in buses?
yeah,
Exactly.
one
You can't
second,
have
one
a
second,
cutoff
one
box.
second.
Drop them at home.
Sir,
Even
sir,
if it
sir,
is
if I want
free,
to
we
go
don't
home,
want to sit
Karmali
in
house,
buses.
Sir, one second. Even the Tamankar had yesterday briefed to the
Yes,
this one. He
yes.
said this all electric buses will take there. You know how much they are paying government to that contractor? 79 or something rupees. Why these all people of Goa, those who are having a taxi, why they are not allowing over there? Now those who are suffering, land losers, they have to take them in the confidence, talk them. Baba, तुम्ही घ्या taxi घ्या, तुम्ही हांगासून business start करूया. The ADT, Assistant Director Transport is there, RTA is there. They should bring this all in the paper, that advertisement, get the yellow black taxis to stand over
But the
there.
per name people, I think they were given to the RTO or STA.
Yeah, what is
all
your view on
applications,
this?
all
On this issue, what is your view?
No, that only saying all the per name people have given application to the RTA long before that we want to apply a taxi over there when the airport start. But till that nothing has been happened this year.
What's going to happen to the whole? Forget the tourism business. There are people coming to Goa even for work. There are people flying in from Bombay, Delhi,
Yes.
Bangalore, everywhere.
Yeah.
People, and we also have domestic tourists. So when they come down and when they see this chaotic system, but you've been in the government ecosystem also deeply. And in the last 7, 8 years or 10 years, whenever you've been there, has there been any talk of having that last mile connectivity? You can have highways, you can have bridges, you can have the.
Yes, sir, definitely.
But where is your?
We don't have the
connectivity?
all.
Yeah, you don't have to transport.
Yes.
But if I look back,
Yes.
I think this has been the first real last few years where the taxi problem has been discussed to bring it to a solution.
Right.
I'm personally in shock that Mopa is starting in 10 days and we have nothing on the plan.
Correct.
And then to hear that they were going to have some buses was the most ridiculous thing. Are you looking at bus quality tourists for Goa?
Right.
You know?
You see, my point is, even if not, my issue is that there can be very good international quality buses with proper space for luggage and all that.
We need seat belts.
Foreigners will also
Yeah,
do
but
that.
how
my
they-
issue
that
is not
is
about
how they
buses. You
can
cannot
take to
have
the
these
hotel.
kind of buses.
How they will take to the hotel?
Yes.
But our hotels are there. Even many of the hotels taxi also not reaching over there.
Correct.
If I may
They have
ask,
to
Yes.
get down at the
If I may
out.
ask,
to wrap up.
what stops you all from joining an app-based?
Yeah.
See,
uh,
the
uh,
app base
okay,
you
yeah,
said.
let's start. Yes,
See,
yes,
app base you said.
Yes.
Now we don't have an app based policy. Nobody's cab aggregator is following. Even Ola, Uber,
Why?
nobody is following.
Why?
Then
No,
you should know
no,
why.
no, the point here is no.
because they know they want to grab a floating money. Now presently, if you set up, because my interaction with Mr. Fota Miles owner, the Parashar Code, he has come at Miramar. He called us, our union. He said, "Why you are not joining?" I had spent 20 crore to set up this thing.
There
That
is a
time
cost to set up things, right?
He said,
Yeah.
but actual, I don't know how much he spent or something.
But we are really
No, no,
interested.
no,
in
no,
the-
no, see-
I'm giving you time.
Yeah.
I'm asking you only.
Yeah.
My issue is, if you can just explain to us that what is your objection to app based? How do you feel that's going to affect
Yeah.
you detrimentally? In
Yeah.
the sense, why do you feel it's not good?
Yeah, why I objected?
Huh.
Mr. that Dabade has said, you get a trip from airport, or you get a trip from railway station to Panjim, immediately you will get a trip from here to there. That time I questioned him, what is your binary or circumference of existing those who are here? Then how you saying that within an hour you will get a trip? The where business is generated in Panjim? I asked him this question. That time he said, you tell me the number of who was existing standing here. So how I'll get within a half hour? I'll get a next trip.
See, I've been to Mumbai. If you go to
Sir,
Mumbai,
there's a
you've
metropolitan
been
city.
around, right?
There is don't compare Mumbai to
When
there.
are we
So what
going
you are
to
essentially
change the
saying is that
system
when you
in
come
Goa?
from Mopa to Panjim, you may not get a booking from Panjim back to back to
100%,
wherever.
sir.
So now
And
at
so
the-
that's
now-
your objection.
Yes.
Now that
definitely.
Goa miles, they are coming from airport to see old Goa.
Right.
And they are just waiting there. Till
Right.
second trip they get. They are sleeping under the bridge there.
But don't you
with the
also
taxi.
See,
don't you
time
also
the
see
thing
the
is there,
possibility that
One more thing.
if there are app based taxis, don't you think that if the app based system is there, there'll be so many tourists, even locals, and other
Locals
people
will
wanting
use
to
it.
use
Yeah,
that?
don't
See,
go
see,
for
I'll
tourists,
tell
locals.
you.
I'll use an app.
Yeah, sir. The app-based cab aggregator is around municipal surround.
You're okay with that?
That only,
Okay.
not to go far from here to Kalangut, stand there. And all the taxis of app-based, they should not stop anywhere.
But
It
it's
should be-
happening. But there are apps all over
When
the
you
country.
stop means you are offline.
But there are cabs all
Why
over the
India
country.
is flourishing and not Goa?
Oh, though you were saying, but this is not a metropolitan city. See,
It is
we
a
have
state, it's not even a city.
Now, sir,
State.
we
So
have a
let's
occupancy.
get that clear.
Now you tell me, in Goa we have a occupancy of 2 crore, and we have a 15 lakh people. Which this about 1 crore and something. Who is using this
Now
occupancy?
look at it positive, how local using your app.
Okay,
Sir,
so
local
what you're-
nobody is
Sir, I'll-
using.
I'll-
Okay,
I'll clear my side.
just to sum it up,
Yeah,
what you are saying is that you are against apps and you are against
We are
digital
not
meters.
against the apps, sir,
Okay,
but
okay.
here it is not physical because no
So
metropolitan city.
you're
We don't
saying,
have a
you're
flourishing.
saying apps are not feasible,
Yes.
nor are digital meters feasible.
Digital meter is feasible only after when, suppose somebody had complained,
Yeah.
why Mumbai and here is a different. Kilo is the same from here and there.
Right.
Why here different?
So why Goa and Mumbai is different for app?
No. See, because why here is happen because we have a less population. Goa people are not using taxi. Everybody is having scooter or something. Or those doesn't have a
Linton,
much good economy.
this point needs to be addressed. What he's saying
I'm-
this is an important point.
I'm listening to him
Yeah.
because I agree with him to a point. If you take a taxi from Panjim to Kavelosim,
Correct. You will not get a
you will
passenger
not
back.
get a.
Nobody will stop
and
you.
It's like Bombay to Kolhapur.
So or
It's
Kandivali to
interest-
Churchgate.
it's
Say
intercity.
Kandivali to Churchgate. Say.
Like
Okay.
only Panjim, only Mapsa, only Margao, there will be business.
Right.
But we are actually a state and we keep forgetting we are not a
Right.
city, we are a
Correct,
state.
correct.
So he does have a point there. And
Right.
I think if you ask me, this was a great dialogue, but we need to have this dialogue on many fronts because
Right.
even when we talk of buses,
Right.
if the government is going to have buses, has the government seen the state of the roads in Kalangut and Anjuna?
You
and
can't
all
get
these
buses in there.
places?
Correct.
Yes,
I mean,
definitely you cannot
We
take
cannot
inside.
get
Even
all
taxi,
these-
even
And
car
I
you
think
cannot
Herald
take
should
Sir,
bring
regarding
all
a-
these people
Points
on a
on
dialogue
correct.
and come with a nice
Yes.
format to take everything together on a platform.
All and last words.
Sir, I'll clear my side, sir.
Please clear.
Why we don't want the app? We are
Of
a yellow
course,
black
very
taxi.
important, correct.
we are yellow black taxi, sir. And I can't go and stand at Kalangut because I have got a stand.
You are
notified
essentially,
over
you
it.
are point to point. So you are out of the app
Yeah.
ecosystem.
So,
so you
and
will
That's why
identify-
I'm not joining
second
there.
thing,
Because
the
the
app
government
is-
is also forcing us to join there.
Right.
Yeah, second thing,
Unless and
why-
until the permit conditions are changed.
Okay.
Yeah, why we are saying, because app-based taxi, somebody has joined to the app. Then they having an office, they having a bouncers,
Correct,
they ask
correct.
for the money, then they start
Okay,
to
we are
pay.
really running
This
out
is
of
the
time.
things going on.
Last words quickly, but before that, I
Yeah.
have just one question to ask you.
Yeah.
See, Fatima, everything we accept. Only thing is, will you seriously look into and think about this? That when there is violence on tourists, when tourists are getting roughed up, when people have this fear, that is something that you need to address. Because
Yes.
my issue is, if there is something weak on your side or wrong on your part, shouldn't you at least think about it? And you as a leader, shouldn't you at least say that this is not good and has to stop?
I will
Tourists
tell,
cannot be beaten.
Must.
by with your this thing, I will tell to everyone
Yes.
of Goan taxi,
Correct,
employment, the youth,
correct.
never they will do such thing in the futures. And so I will humbly request
Very good.
request to everyone,
Yeah.
That's a good message.
don't
coming.
do anything
Correct.
Violence.
Yes.
So a
That's
bad
a
message
good
will go
message
to the
coming.
globally.
Yes. Correct, correct.
Spoil
You
Goa's
can
name.
Yes.
no, please say it in
But-
Konkani.
but
Please say it
along-
in Konkani. Please say it in Konkani.
Konkani.
या
Yeah,
या
yeah.
हांव सगळ्यांक सांगता
Yeah.
विथ दीस की आमचे सगळे जाण जे टॅक्सी कार भाव आसात तांकां की विथ दीस कन्वर्सेशन्स
Yeah.
आय एम वायलन्स करपाचें ना आमकां आमचो टुरिजम फुडें व्हरपाक जायो आनी बरें जगाचेर बरो मॅसेज दिवपाक जायो आनी हें सांगतना सुद्दां हांव टूर्स एंड ट्रॅवल्स एजन्सीज आसा तांकांय हांव हें शिटकावणी दिवन सांगता की तेंच्यांनी आमच्या बद्दल टुरिस्टां कडेन वायट सांगप ना तेंच्यांनी सांगपाचें की आयदर यू कॅन चॉयस अ बस or either you can choose a taxi, but they should not say anything against us.
Okay, done. Sanjeev, Abdas, final
Yes.
words. We have to wrap up.
Yes,
And we'll-
there is not a single family on this planet which does not have differences among themselves. In Goa, we are one big family. One very appreciative, we have discussed so many things, but one very appreciative point that we should not forget in this particular discussion is both the association, that is the black and yellow,
And the
as well
tourist.
as the tourist taxi, what they have thought of and what they have said very physically is that the first preference at the Mopa airport should go to those people who have lost the land
Land.
and those particular. They did not demand that we also should,
correct.
which I sincerely appreciate.
Okay, on this note, I normally kind of end up and speaking for a couple of minutes at the end of the debate. I will not do that because our discussion has been long and intensive with very positive points coming from everywhere. This was not a blame game discussion. This was basically to understand each other better. And the message given by the All Goa Taxi Association, I mean the Tourist Taxi Association, has been extremely positive. Even Sunil Bab of the Black and Yellow has put some important points, and so have the tourism stakeholders. I just wish that the government, which was actually invited for this, would have also responded and been on board. But I think, again, as I said it earlier, we can only have conversations as a way forward and not confrontation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Rata,